AM 560. The Answer.
Another thing that's happened, and very few people paying attention, you probably are, which is they demanded, the DOJ did, our voter data. Not just ours. In Illinois. Every state's voter data. Why?
Because you Democrats cheat. You lie. And you steal in the name of people who don't exist. You moron. That's why. Eduardo, Tampa Bay. He's really fooling me, that fat slob.
Yeah,
he's on the Ozempic drip now. He's slapping hands of people who are running and stuff. It's fun. You're missing it.
Oh my God, I'm glad I'm not there anymore.
Yeah, you're missing it. Yeah.
Yeah, but I was going to say that. Did you see that story? Mr. Madami got some foreign money. You're not surprised. 170. He only returned like 88. And Democrats giving $100 million to protesters. It's ridiculous.
Well, they're buying, they're funding the terrorists in the same way the King did in one of the 18 main points that Brandon Johnson thought were 5. They were funding mercenaries to burn the towns and create chaos. It's exactly what's happening now. I mean, it's the same playbook, different costumes, and fatter people, even though Ozempic's out there. And the only thing that looks more ridiculous than a fat Pritzker is the Ozempic Pritzker. You got to see him with the skin hanging like saddlebags. It's fantastic. Thank you, Eduardo, for reminding people that there's a better life out there in Tampa Bay. Roberto, Bloomingdale.
Sean, how you doing tonight?
Splendid.
Good. Here's the question I want to ask. In light of everything going on in Chicago and with the governor of Teletubby, how can a lowly judge overrule the president of the United States on what's going on in Broadview or what's going on in anything other than the Supreme Court?
That's why he's a judge. He got there because of Ed Burke and Mike Madigan and some other Democrat mafia apparatchik who allowed him to become a judge so they could then protect the infrastructure of corruption and money. Do you think that the government in Chicago or Cook County or Illinois, for that matter, can afford to have the voter rolls purged and make sure that the people who are on them live and exist in Illinois? Of course not. So the judge is only protecting their job. After all, somebody's got to pay that phony baloney pension. And the way that it works, you notice how nobody in the Democrat mafia says, you know what, why don't we just stop sending the money to the federal government? We'll run our own state. We'll run our own cities and counties. Why isn't one Democrat area saying that?
Hey,
not one.
Sean, I have one final question. I know you got to go. Michael Madigan, he's going bye-bye today, isn't he?
Oh, come on. He's just going to gain weight. Mike Madigan and every other Democrat mafia gangster, they're the only ones who go to prison and gain weight. They're going to be fine. Don't worry, he'll be eating filet sandwiches on Thursday. Come on, Robert. You're going to celebrate a victory? Guy, for 50 years, he was the boss of bosses. Now all of a sudden he's you're going to cry tears for him? I don't think you understand the way the game works, kid. The way the game works.
They won't tell us why. And actually, what they seem to be looking for, remember back to the 2020 elections, is they want to be able to find voter fraud, which...
Why don't you? Hey, Fetzo, why don't you want to find voter fraud? Or any other Democrat? Why don't any of the Democrats want to find voter fraud? Because you rely on it.
Lots of organizations have been looking for voter fraud, as you know, for a long time. There's very little voter fraud going on. Very little.
That's how you know it's massive. Right there. That and the fact that people were pretending. Yeah, he's the president. Sure he is. He didn't soil his socks. He bumped into something. He spilled a little Perrier on his pants. He didn't wet himself.
Anguish and agony as 15,000 Americans and many more Afghans try to escape Kabul. Reports of more than a dozen injured in the crush at the airport, the Taliban beating the crowds. Fighters firing multiple rifle shots in the air to frighten and disperse people. And right by the Taliban checkpoint there, a tense moment.
Taliban permission. ABC News. Okay.
By the way, they pretend to be a real government today. Just before Joe Biden and the Democrats stole the 2020 election, they had their ass against the wall. Lemo, Chris.
Yo, Sean. Hey, I was listening to AM News Radio on yesterday, and little Dick Durbin was on there. I guess he was at the marathon saying how beautiful and safe Chicago is, and Trump is this and Trump is that.
I saw
and
it.
The next 6 stories were all about shootings and murders this weekend, and I think it was hilarious.
Oh, well, this weekend was a big win for Chicago. There were only 2 killed and 13 shot. That's a big win in the ghetto. That's way down. I mean, that's way down from 50. And the reason is the troops are here. And Trump won't get credit for that either. But he's getting credit in other areas. And you know what? It's funny. Don Lemon, you remember Don Lemon, untalented and got the job because of his sexual proclivities. Don Lemon was discussing the illegal aliens in Chicago, and he stumbled on 2 handsome girls, by the way, 2 handsome devils.
So how do you guys feel? Apparently, they said this. The Trump guys are saying that the city is a hellhole and crime is out of control, and they got to bring in the National Guard.
It is a hellhole. It is out of control. We still love it. Yeah, we love it. It's pretty.
See, they love it. They got used. They live low. They like it low. They're not interested in good living. That's that Democrats. You love living low. Take a look around. Yuck. George in Naperville.
Yes, Sean, Brandon, our mayor in Chicago, is an educator. And every day he teaches us more and more about what a goofball he is.
My favorite is this fact that this scam is now out. Now out. And now you know why J.B. Pritzker doesn't want the voter rolls cleaned. Voter rolls. Why don't you clean the public school rosters? Let's see if those kids really exist, or if Maryland is just late to the table of how Democrat teacher unions steal money.
Over the past 6 years, the funding of missing students, Henry says, is correctable if the state legislature is willing to adjust the funding formulas by counting enrollment more often.
How about just validating it? And there's a little story that broke in Georgia. And I knew the minute I heard that there was a superintendent from the school system, this would track right back to Chirac and Illinois.
The leader of Georgia's 3rd largest school district is now the subject of a massive federal indictment. I'm Blair Miller.
And I'm Tracy Hutchins. DeKalb County Superintendent Dr. Devon Horton faces more than a dozen charges, all of them connected to what investigators say happened before he came to Metro Atlanta. Tonight, Horton is on paid leave. The school board...
He's a doctor, Squirrel. He's a doctor of guts and ghoul, just like Jill Biden was the doctor of Gats on Ghoul.
I see a yellow duck looking at me. Yellow duck, what do you see? I see a... Shut the
f*** Exactly, kid.
Announced the change today in an emergency meeting. Now, there is a lot to unpack with this story.
Our Niamani Watson begins our team coverage tonight. Niamani, you combed through this indictment, then spoke with a lawyer about Horton's legal fight ahead.
I did, and this indictment accuses Horton of some very serious financial charges. And again, this allegedly happened during his previous role in Chicago. And the attorney I spoke with, who is not representing Horton, believes prosecutors may have a strong case. Tonight, Dr. Devon Horton, temporarily out as DeKalb County Superintendent, accused of committing fraud, kickbacks, and misusing funds. School board members making the tough call.
While we cannot comment on confidential personnel matters, we are concerned by these allegations.
Before Horton became DCSD superintendent, he led the Evanston-Skokie School District 65, a suburb of Chicago, from 2020 to 2023.
When the getting was good. That COVID money was going out of the door. It was like robbing a Brinks truck.
Indictment alleges during that time, Horton was part of a scheme to defraud the school district of money and property.
And this case is going to have a lot of irrefutable documents involved, since it's primarily a financial case.
All in Evanston and Skokie, huh? How many of you rats were in on this? Lie, cheat, and steal. They disguise themselves as a political party called the Democrats. 312-642-5600.
What if everything you've been told about government, health care, poverty, energy, and even science is a carefully constructed lie? In Sean Thompson's new book, What If It's All a Lie? Sean Thompson dismantles the myths at the core of modern America. This is the book the ruling class doesn't want you to read. And once you do, you won't see the world the same way again. Order your copy today at SeanThompsonShow.com.